continuing to improve, and shouldn't count him out.
We're going to start excuse me, this match out, on Disco Bloodbath Artosis. After that, World of Sleepers, Acropolis, Thunderbird, and Ephemeron.
Yes.
Ephemeron.
Okay, so Disco Bloodbath, let's start this up,
Let's
man.
get this started. Time for Serral begins now in this best of 5. The winner moves on to BlizzCon. In the bottom right, in the red, from China, our Terran player. He is
Newbie time.
in the upper left, in the blue, our Zerg player from Finland, the 2018 world champion. He is
And Serral.
Well, I'll be interested to see what Time thinks his best chance at winning here is. You know, he's a TVZ player that has the full range. He really can go for any type of strategy, but I really feel like his aggressive style favors bio play.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know if we're going to have a passive player from Serral. Late game Zerg is more pronounced in this matchup than I think any other. It's one where if it goes on for long enough, it's so difficult to deal with Broodlord Infestor. But I don't think there's anything that necessarily requires Serral to try to force this game into a long one. You know, Serral is also very comfortable doing time and attacks. Nidus play has been very popular. So let's see what he does.
Yeah, it will be kind of interesting to see what his openers look like. For instance, I quite like his Ling Bane style that he uses into Ultras and whatnot. I could see him utilizing something like that because Time is an aggressive player. Of course, Ling Bane Muta, another choice that you can go for. Yeah, I think that it's probably going to be smart if he... Like, I don't think we're going to see too many Roaches out of Serral in this series. While you can go Roaches against Terran, I feel like that would complement the way that Time plays a little bit,
Yeah,
right? If he's
I
already
think
harassment heavy.
That could play into some tempo here for Time, where maybe he ends up getting off enough damage that he can swing the game into his favor. But
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, I would agree with you overall on that. I think it's more likely we're going to see him do a more straightforward Zerg tech here. Roaches definitely have a time and a place in a StarCraft 2 game, but if you're going for Roaches, you're usually not going for something else in the meanwhile.
Well, pushes that Reaper out for now. No third base as of yet here for Serral. Of course, we have the SCV waiting up there, so he's really trying to delay that as much
He's
as
trying
possible.
to escort this drone so he can get a third base set up here. And this is actually slowing Zerg down a decent bit. Is there any chance he wants to try to dive on the drone? I don't know that he can get it safely.
Yeah, looks like Serral just being very patient about it. Doesn't want that drone to end up falling or anything.
Dude, he's so good. Look at this.
Yeah, it's really great denials.
Nice delay. Yeah, very, very well done.
Meantime, we have Serral going into Overlord speed, so he really wants to know exactly what Time is up to. As of right now, just reactored Hellions with the starport on the way. We'll see what he wants to do with that starport. He did get the second gas, so obviously we're going to see some sort of tech out of that. Is he going to go into some Banshee play? I mean, battle cruisers, of course, are something that we still see, although not as popular. Just a Liberator to start. A third gas being taken, though.
Yeah, let's see if he starts a tech pretty rapidly here. Here comes that Overlord with speed to come in here. Try to do a little bit of scouting. Time already preempting this with the Marines over here. A second Overlord now down at the natural.
Yeah, he's really looking for that full scout. Sees another gas down here. And he's going to get up there. Are you going to fake a stim upgrade? Yeah, it's battlecruiser tech, and he's going to scout that right away.
Yeah, very, very complete and thorough scouting.
Because a Liberator's coming out, you think there's any chance of a Liberator range rush?
Maybe. I mean, we're going to see in a moment here, but...
Yeah. That could kind of be an interesting way to try to mix this up a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I think at this point in time, Serral's probably already confirmed what his opponent's doing in his head. But yeah, maybe you could go for a very unconventional tech path and throw Serral off here.
Yeah, something like that could be very, very neat. See, he's got the Tech Lab waiting, but not another Liberator making, so I think he's going to still make a BC, but let's see. I feel like you should be trying to throw some sort of wrench into your opponent's play here because it's Serral, but now the BC does get started.
And here comes that Liberator now. It looks like it's going to set up over. Is it going to?
It's just checking if there's a gas there.
I got ahead of myself. I was pretty sure that it was going to start attacking, but
certainly
Time's Liberator's not doing anything. Serral notices it.
Yeah, that's too bad. He actually had a big window there to deny some mining.
Because Serral did not notice it immediately. Little bit of misplay there by Time. So that Baneling's Nest is about to finish here.
Yeah, just all kind of standard for Serral here so far. Deflecting these Hellions pretty well. The Liberator, of course, also. With the BC on the way. We see that he's also going into Bio. Really happy to see that. Before, a lot of the BC builds just always went into Mech, but it seems like Mech right now a little bit underpowered in this match. I haven't seen a lot of wins with Terran off of that strategy.
Yeah, it seems like if you're meching, you're letting the Zerg have too much control on his side of the map a lot of the time. And, you know, a big overarching theme about fighting Zerg is not leaving them alone. A Zerg who is not bothered in a game is usually a Zerg that's going to win. So in that theme, in that spirit, we have the battlecruiser now coming in, beginning to gun down these queens. Liberator is now being used to deny mining over here as we're about to see the second queen go down.
All right, I mean, picking off 3 queens already, and with that Liberator up there, I mean, this is not so bad, right?
No, this is great, actually, for Time here. I mean, Serral is actually already hurting quite a bit. And Time seems to have mathed this out just enough so that he could. Okay, he does not get that last queen, but he is going to get this Overlord.
Not terrible.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
You know, I've mentioned this in the past, but it's worth mentioning again here now. One of the strengths of the battlecruiser rush is as long as you don't use it, you always get value. That's always going to damage and kill stuff, so you send it back home, repair. And this is going to be a push after the first battlecruiser comes out. So we had 3 queens picked off. We had mining slowed down. This might have enough muscle to really punish Serral. In fact, I'm thinking Serral might have a very hard time with this attack.
Well, he's got Stim, and he's got +1 just about to finish, so that's pretty nice. But the creep spread is already really good. I'm not sure where he's going to set up this tank. Baneling's speed is going to finish pretty soon as well, so I think Serral's going to deal with this, but let's see how cost-efficient Time can really be. By the way, Serral's already on 70 drones.
Whoa, yeah,
Explain
you're
how
right.
You do that. Oh my God.
I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out. That's incredible.
Crazy, yeah.
So these Lings will come in here and get a denial on the 3rd CC. Meanwhile, the battlecruiser warps in at the natural as the push is happening at the 3rd.
Yeah, let's see what he gets done. Okay, Baneling's speed is all set. Some good micro so far from Time.
Couple denies there. I like the siege tank super far back so that he can really kite as much as humanly possible here. Oh man, Time really starting to take this fight. Those Banelings pretty damaged over here.
Yeah, really not bad. It looks like the left side of his army does get picked off, but he's still got the vast majority of his army. He's killed 11 drones as well. Starting to bring the siege tank up as some of the creep gets pushed back, but I don't know if he can really do anything more with all these queens coming up.
Yeah, the queens now being here is going to make it a lot more difficult to maintain any presence on this side of the map. It is 58 workers to 55, evening things out on that front. But you can see the Lings coming forward. Time with perfect targeting takes down the Banelings, picks up the remaining army, and now we have a drop elsewhere on the map.
Ooh, I love that setup of the siege tank as well. This 4th base under fire right now. It looks like it's going to be a forced cancel. Beautiful moves from Time, keeping that pressure on.
Oh, Time is crushing it in this game. Serral having a very difficult time, and this army is still present on this side of the map. No medevac energy to really heal this up for very long. Again, these exchanges going so well for Time.
He is microing like a madman right now, and he's really caught up as far as economy goes, killing a bunch of drones and keeping this pressure on, forcing Ling and Baneling production.
I gotta say, Time is playing the game of his life right now. He's really squeezing Serral here. We may see the army regroup. He may end up just keeping these 2 different groups out here, continuing to harass. Although things are beginning to slow down a little bit on that front. Well, hold that thought, actually. We have a big drop coming into the main here. 2 spores make it a lot more difficult for these medevacs to keep any presence over here.
Yeah, looks like this one not going to work out as well as some of the others did. But you know what? He is staying on top of things. Has +2 on the way, +1 armor, almost done. Drilling Claws coming up. He's on 3 bases. He's got more workers than Serral has right now, and Serral's playing Ling Bane. So I'm looking at this situation, and I'm liking it for Time, which is not something I say against Serral very often.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, actually, how good Time has been with these attacks. He's now going to merge these drops together here to have a lot more push on this side of the map, but at the same time, Serral has pushed the creep spread out pretty considerably here.
Yeah, he's really staying on top of that, which is so important. Another group of Marines over on this side. Picks off a couple Banelings and picks up, gets out of there. Beautifully done once again. A second factory on the way, wants to continue this production. Looks like he's getting ready for another command center as well.
As the game continues to progress, it appears that Time is going to be maxing out before Serral, which would be huge. That almost never happens in a Serral game here. And again, the creep control has actually been pretty impressive. Time has basically not lost or wasted any medevacs full of Marines.
Yeah, and just the fact that Serral was at 70 drones and he immediately kind of hurt him and brought his drone count down, and we haven't seen Serral really get back up to that number.
They basically stayed at the exact same distance now with workers since that initial attack.
Yeah, and looks like, well, mutas are out now, so this could make things a little bit more difficult. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and bomb into the main base. The two spores and the mutas here greeting him, though. He's losing at least one medevac. Looks like the other one almost dies, but not quite.
It seems like this is the best you're going to get for Time here in this initial fight. And wow, these Marines doing so much damage. He even picks up in the uninjured medevac and unloads over here. Time really doing the best he possibly could in every situation.
Yeah, it does end up losing a lot of medevacs there, though, so not quite as optimal as he would like. 2-2 finishes up for Serral, but +2 attack finishing here for Time.
Now the mutas are going to try to roam around the map and keep the Terran on the defense so Serral can continue to grow. Elsewhere, it does appear there's enough Marines to basically hold this off. I'm not clear on defense, though, in the natural or the main.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What are these mutas going to end up getting done?
Oh, my God. Time is so good. He's so smart. Okay, so it was 2 Widow Mines under a siege tank. I was about to say a second ago, these tanks are exposed. He's going to lose them. That's going to be bad for Time, his first big loss. But I was wrong. That was a setup.
That is actually a very old trick that I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah. Beautifully done by Time there. Serral falling for it completely.
Okay, the Lynx coming down now. It seems as though Serral's a bit wary to fight off creep. I think I have to think again here. The Banes are going to come down, and they're actually going to get a surround on these Marines. The Marines going down around the corner, trying to use these siege tank shots to give them cover, but Lynx surrounding that as well.
Well, you know what? Time plays ring around the rosy there and gets away from most of the Banes, gets some decent volleys off, and forces Serral back once again. Continues to have a very high army supply, and, I mean, his economy still looking strong on 4 bases.
Really impressive play here. Serral fighting back, but Time holding his own. Now Serral is continuing to take this location over here as well as the one on the far left. I don't know which one of those Time might try to push, but if he tries to push through the middle, I think it's going to be too difficult. There's just too much creep presence.
Yeah, there really looks to be that. But you know what? Time, he's macroing so hard right now. He's playing such a clean, nice game. Hive is not even done here for Serral. What is he going to tech up to? I believe he'll go into Ultralisks. We'll see if Time is really ready for that as the game moves forward.
More Lings and Banes coming. The Mutas trying to do their best to keep the Terran back. Oh, nice catch here. Actually going to deny some of those Banelings. We're still waiting to see where is the next big push going to come from Time. Both these players appear as though they are about to max out at the exact same time, which means most likely Terran's going to be pushing into Zerg very quickly here.
Yeah, oftentimes the case. You got to get rid of some of this creep. You got to get rid of some of these bases, right? Serral right now in 6 bases against the 4 of Time. So if he can deny even one of these, that is a big deal. Continues to improve his army. 3-3 is on the way. Hasn't been started for Serral as of yet, as the Hive hasn't finished.
We have a big Ling Bane counterattack here. It's not clear on how well defended the 4th is, but Time does see it, and so he decides to try to push this away. This may evolve into an actual push over here in the center left location as well.
Now look at this. Serral is roaming around in the center.
Did you see that? He like locked in. Hold on, we got the push coming in here.
Is this a counterattack coming up? Looks like he wants to roll through these depots.
I don't see anything to defend, but I've missed plenty of Widow Mines already here. The Banes are going to come in, and he's not going to send his Lings and Mutas here. He's instead going to use those to try to defend. Time now coming back.
Yeah, looks like he already got rid of his SCVs here, so no worries on taking big economic damage. Mutas flying into the main.
Oh,
that would be a gigantic pickoff. That is such an important upgrade. That +3 is gone.
Beautiful play here by Time. More Lings are beginning to come in here. We saw Time hemming and hawing on the map. By the way, the armor upgrade about to be denied as well. Time has not committed any damage. He kept trying to defend, then trying to attack, and never reaching either location successfully. And so this is going to possibly become a base trade depending on how effective this attack is here by Time.
Yeah, let's see it. I mean, he's got a lot of mines left over there. Serral trying to clear some of them here. Let's see how that goes. Oh, I think Serral's playing just beautifully, getting these mines to unburrow when he can, dealing as much damage as he can to the front of that army as Lings and Banes swoop in once again. Time micros forward and is putting the pressure on this base.
Time beginning to close in, but already these mutas are on top of the infrastructure for the Terran. No more reinforcements as bases are being lifted off.
Oh man, just some beautiful play on both sides, but Serral doing the critical damage on top of the production of Time. Is he going to be able to make more army? That seems to be a solid no.
He's continuing to press onward. GG! Serral takes that game in such an insane back and forth, but ultimately he mastered that balancing act of having the perfect amount of offense to shut down the Terran while still being able to hold off that push from Time. And I gotta say, that was the best game I've seen Time play. Time looked like a beast.
Yeah, he looked very strong. You could even see Serral at the end there, even though he won, kind of shaking his head slightly. I think he knows that that game could have gone the other way. His counterattack there at the end dealt an inordinate amount of damage, right? He cleared out a base, he rolled right up, he got both of the upgrades, which 3-3 against Mutiling Bane is basically where you start to really win the game as Terran. And then he got on top of the production facility. Time unable to do anything against that.
He played perfectly. It was insane. That was the best early game we've seen a player have against Serral there, and it still didn't work. Time will now be facing Serral on the map World of Sleepers. In that last game, he went for a battlecruiser rush. After the initial damage, it morphed into a timing push that there was just nothing it seemed like Zerg could do for a little bit. Zerg was barely holding on, but it eventually fizzled out.
Well, it was really well done by Time. I think he's just showing that he has such a solid macro game at this point, which is really cool because before he's always been known kind of as a slightly aggressive Terran, really great at his micro and pushing and multitasking around the map. Here we're seeing that he's filled out a lot of that play and just looking like a beast.
Serral really looks unstoppable. At the start of that game, I thought that this was going to be a game where for sure Time was going to close it out because he was doing so well, especially after he got the 11 drone kill. But Serral is so good at stabilization. I mean, had that Zerg counterattack not gone as well as it did, Time would have crushed through several bases and Serral would be limping into the late game. But the fact that he got the Lings in there, did the damage that he did not overextend, and also knew to place the mutas exactly on top of production.
Yeah.
And seeing that Time had basically moved too far out. I mean, that was so many variables, so many moving parts to that game. And Serral handled each one perfectly despite Time getting ahead at the start of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it was perfectly done because if you do not get on top of that production, Time will eventually rally out enough units to push that back.
Yeah.
Instead, Time was forced to try to go for the kill. So he's like pushing on creep further and further, faster and faster, because you don't really have other options. If he had other options, maybe he just kills fringe bases and the game continues onwards. But a beautiful recovery there from Serral.
So I believe Time's requested a short break. We allow the players to take breaks, at least one they're allowed for the best of 5. And I don't blame him for doing so because you got to go back to that game and try to figure out what exactly did Time do wrong. I mean, was it that
Maru and thus has to play Serral?
Was it that he was actually pushing on the upper right and the bottom left for too long? There was periods where he kept stimming and attacking and it didn't seem to do anything. The damage had already been done. It might have been better to try a different front, a different technique. I don't know.
Maybe if he had a few mines left at home in strategic defensive locations to make the Ling Bane countering a little bit less powerful or something. That's
maybe you're right.
The only thing I can come up with.
Maybe you know that the Zerg's hurting. You know they're going to have to rely on counterattacks, and therefore you let them fall into a trap of letting them counterattack into the mines, and then after you've held that off, you go for the push?
Maybe.
Our game is now loading up. Time defeating Maru 3-2 is now going up against Serral, the world champion from 2018 in Game 2. Let's go. In the bottom left, in the red, our Terran player from China. He is
Newbie. Time.
And in the upper right, in the blue, our Finnish Zerg player. He is
Serral.
Yeah, I'm very excited, man. Like, Time just putting out such a high-quality game right there.
Yeah, Time looked godlike in that game. I really like the setup. You know, a lot of times you have the battle cruiser come back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then there's a push.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty sick build. You just do it initially. That first battle cruiser usually does the most damage.
Yeah.
When that comes in, and so you immediately follow up with a push. Queens are a lot of times the unit that allows Zerg to barely hold off attacks. And I think a lot of that with targeting 3 queens down means they cannot get 3 queens again as quickly as they need to.
No, he did very well with that. I liked the pairing with the Liberator early on.
Yeah, same.
It wasn't a gigantic amount of damage, but it did nicely, especially considering Serral scouted it so quickly. So, really cool play. Now, is he going to continue down that road? When I've seen Time play series before, a lot of the times he'll use very different builds against Zerg, because he does have a big range. But maybe he looks at that game and says, you know what? If I can get off to a similar start, I know how to fix my play.
In that last game, Serral just playing the defense and then going for kind of a brawler Zerg, you know, with the Lings and the Mutas and the Banes. And just barely having enough to hold off that push. I don't know what he's going to do this time.
It's a great game, though. Really, really fun one. Well, the Reaper going to come across, probably damage 4 different Lings, and then a Queen will pop out. It's 2 damaged. 3 damaged.
Okay, and here's the part where the Reaper didn't do anything and is eventually chased out.
Yeah.
What do
3
you think?
Lings in. Oh, no. All 4 got damaged. All right,
What's your take on the expanding spot over here? No, I guess it's fine. Never mind.
Oh, that. Yeah. Well, you know, the Rich Geyser
It's so good, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. If I was to do a Serral impression, it's nice.
It's nice.
Okay, Overlord speed on the way.
So Zerg's once again going to attempt a thorough scout and see what is the tech path here from the Terran. I don't know if Time wants to play a more passive game. Again, we generally see Zergs seem to be more robust in very long games because of the just how the symbiosis of Broodlords and Infestors together is incredibly difficult for a Terran to deal with. So, you know, what he did in game 1 made a lot of sense. Come out with a pretty big punch in the mid game. I don't know what he's going to do this time around, though. I do still think that basically Time strategy worked in game 1. He just wasn't able to deliver that in the end and capitalize on his advantage. So maybe we see something similar. Maybe we see something different.
Well, right now, what we've seen from Time is this pretty quick 3rd command center off of the factory into a 2nd Rax. Kind of an economic-focused build. Interesting that he has the 2 Raxes right now producing before he adds on that starport. It's interesting, we saw that, or we heard in the interview, rather, that he practices with innovation.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. Obviously, that's going to help him to fight Maru. Innovation, one of the only Terrans in the world, really, who can go toe-to-toe against Maru in TVT. But, you know, Innovation, one of the best Terran versus Zerg players in the world as well, and a king of macro builds like this.
So we have the layer coming here now, with Stim about halfway done, in what is most likely going to be a bit of a passive game here on both sides. Terran now walling in with the double eBay. Again, another important thing to note, speaking of 2 eBays, was that both attack and armor were denied throughout that game. If 3-3 had finished,
3-3.
I actually almost forgot. I almost forgot about that until I saw the double eBays there. But yeah, in that last game, had 3-3 finished, maybe we would have had a different game.
Well, historically, that is a break point against Lingbane Muta, is getting your 3-3 to finish, because generally there's a lot of money being spent on the Lingbane Muta, so the Hive comes a little bit later, so they generally, that's the upgrade set that they lag behind, and then you're at a 2-upgrade advantage, and that's exactly what we saw happening that game. But, you know, unfortunately for time, Serral too on top of things to allow that to occur.
And the 2 medevacs coming out here with the Vikings, this is very standard. It's more of a control play, trying to do what you can to push creep back. Serral's been doing this throughout our game so far today, but he's hiding a couple banelings. And this is one of these plays that's dependent on where your opponent's screen is. But if he sends those banelings in, like he's going to do right now, and let's say Time's a little bit more preoccupied with watching these medevacs here, he's just going to lose his SCVs, and it's a very easy way for Serral to get ahead.
Yeah. Look at this, he's coming over for the engagement while he's actually trying to micro them in. Oh, beautiful grenade there. And it looks like Time will pick up. Now, the Overlord going towards that main base. He wants the juiciest SCV area possible. Let's see if Time can react.
Time has not moved his SCVs yet. The banelings are coming in here, and they will not be pulled. Great play. He doesn't even overextend, keeping 2 more banelings inside. This could easily be delivered to the 3rd as well.
5 SCV kills. I mean, that's pretty solid right there. We'll see what else he gets done with this in the future. But right now, Time still microing. Might be the perfect time for Serral to do this drop. And in fact, he does. He sets up the drop as this micro move is happening. But this time, Time too quick.
Okay, good shutdown there. Almost getting some more SCVs. Of course, no +T yet, so those Banes still have some time. I kind of wonder if that eBay ever gets hit at some point in time in this game. I mean, it's a nice wall-in, but it's got to be tempting if you take that out.
Sure. Especially if it's right before an upgrade finishes.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful time. Spire on the way once again. So it looks like Serral wants to go for the same type of style. Of course, so far, just did a little bit of damage with that Baneling drop. Time moving out, looking for some sort of push here.
He appears to be in this blind spot for the Zerg. And he's now going to try to push up on the high ground. Time has been very good about keeping his tanks way off of creep, which is very helpful when you're trying to kite the Lings and the Banelings. You can optimize that splash damage. But there's a lot of Banes being made over there. And speaking of Banelings, we have another drop here, and I just don't know that Time is looking. He's looking, never mind. He does pull away.
Yeah. Serral, though, he still has that Overlord. We'll see what he gets done. In the meantime, Time continuing to put a little bit of pressure on. 3 empty medevacs, boost forward.
Yeah, he's going to need to pull those away pretty quickly here. The Queens are going to get some free kills. Looks like they will get 1. I think he's a bit too preoccupied.
Yeah, he definitely is. Oh my gosh. I don't know how many 1 and 2 health things we're going to see in this tournament, but
I think quite a bit are.
I feel like if we just nerfed Zerg 1 hit point on everything, the game would change.
And the game would now be broken and Zerg could not win. Good control here, keeping these Marines alive. He wants to try to target down the Banes if he can get a proper click on them. It does not look like he is, though.
Yeah, microing pretty well overall, but I mean, this, that's like trying to fight the ocean off with sandbags or something.
Yeah,
it's like, well, I mean,
he might as well just pick up there.
Yeah,
he's gonna kill maybe 2 Zerglings.
Like Bruce Lee says, beat Banelings, my friend.
By the way, infestation pick coming down as we have a lot of Mutalisks being made.
Well, that's where you can really get punished for some of these drops, right? If you're trying to keep the harassment up, the Lingbane just kind of runs towards you on the ground. You have to micro or pick up against that, and then the Mutas can just kind of click onto the medevacs. So I'm a little bit nervous for him as these Mutas hatch. This is like the one moment where you can really lose like 20 supply very quickly, very easily.
Banelings get picked up, Marines get picked up from the Banelings. It seems as though the longer these games go on, the less control of the map the Terran really has against a player like Serral. I mean, we see similar things with the Protosses against Serral as well.
Yeah, and Serral's really done a great job creeping up the map. Look at that map. It's so purple right now.
Yeah, this is
that I have to ask myself if, like, is the map purple or is the creep spread brown?
He's actually got such good creep spread, and if he continues to keep this up, he's going to pretty much encase Time in creep.
Yeah.
Because now that the Mutas are out, I don't think we're going to have medevacs that will be able to deny this. Okay, so no denial on the 2-2.
No, doesn't seem like that's going to happen as of yet. Time is getting ready to take his 4th base, but in the meantime, the Hive and a Nidus on the way. So Serral kind of starting to complete that tech tree a bit.
Serral wants to set this up into a pretty vicious multi-prong attack. I don't know where the Nidus is going to be placed, but it's going to be a pretty difficult balancing act here for time as far as defense goes.
Yeah. That is a big group of Ling Bane. Looks like he's sending maybe another group through the center. I see a lot of unit movements. The Muta's coming in right now. The Thor going to push that back very quickly, very easily. Ooh, good spread of siege tanks here.
Oh, that's perfect. Look at that.
Yeah, this
so
is not,
nicely
you
arced
can't
up.
attack him at all. Like, I see, it's beautiful that we have Serral actually kind of spreading his army out right now, looking for a way in. There's no way in. You got to get more defensive here as Serral.
Okay, here's the Nidus. Is he going to react? He's probably drawing his screen away here with these Mutas, easily escaping out. We see Medivacs moving here. He knows, but can he stop it in time?
Yeah, I don't think Serral's going to pop anything out of that one. Or he'll just pop Banelings out and kill everything.
Oh my god, that's so sick.
That works.
I thought the same thing. I thought nothing was going to come out, and Banelings were the first thing he puts in because he knows the Marines had to get so close to actually kill it off.
That's the real tech move right there. You see people pull SCVs and probes to deal with the Nidus.
So we have another Nidus. I don't know where it's being made. And the Thors are trying to drive away these Mutalisks. We have another counterattack here as he's going to try to deny the Nidus once more.
Looks like he's getting ready. Oh my god, moving in with a lot of Ling Bane towards that third base. A liftoff on the Nexus, or the command center.
And he actually killed off 22 SCVs. There are still Lings and Banes moving through here, and that means a lot more SCVs can still be picked off. The creep is also continuing to grow around the map.
Wow, a lot of damage being dealt right now. 22 SCVs falling. More and more Banes in production. Of course, 3-3 going to be on the way here for Serral. Chitinous plating, air armor. He is just really completing everything. His creep spread is out of control. His worker count is perfect at 86.
With these run-bys on the map, you got to wonder if there's any chance for these Mutas to come in here and snipe down the tanks. Here he comes again. Mutas instead coming in here on the side once more to try to hit these workers as the Nidus is coming in. There should be another denial as well.
Oh, this is just ridiculous from Serral. Look at this. He is absolutely everywhere, leaving Niduses in his path. The Muta's harassing so heavily. Oh my god.
And he's got so many Banes here. Is there enough splash damage to take out this wave of Zerg units? I don't think so.
Oh my god. That Baneling count is just ginormous. Kills off Thors and Siege Tanks. Not the most cost-efficient thing you can do, though.
3-3 just now finishes up as we have more Banes coming out here underneath these Mutalisks.
This, I don't even know what to say. Like, watching this type of play where the Mutas fly around and then they are accompanied by a Nidus that shoots out Banelings towards the Marines.
So sick.
The Mutas are basically shooting Banelings at Marines that are trying to kill them.
Yeah, and the third CC was picked off. I believe he's lifted the command center in his main now that the minerals have been mined out. But that's what we're working with here for time.
Yeah.
Serral is just playing that well. And behind all this, we're going to have upgraded Ultralisks.
Well, it's a beautiful way to hold on against whatever push he sends out. I mean, on creep, you are not going to be able to hold on against that. But this is a gigantic army from time, 134 army supply.
Okay, Terran's going to try to push. He is deep into the creep area as so many Banelings are being made. I can't imagine that Time's push is going to work.
Yeah, it is hard to imagine, but he does have a lot of Marauders in here. Maybe he can tank those Banelings a decent amount, get some favorable trades here. Again, his army is very big. It is very strong. Here we go. Serral coming in with a gigantic flank here. But the Banelings get cleared up reasonably quickly. The Mutas coming in from behind and getting siege tanks.
And he's about to get every single siege tank, which means there's nothing to cover the rest of this infantry. And that's the end of this push. GG. Serral takes game 2.
Wow. Wow. I feel like Time, again, played a very strong game, a game that could push just about any Zerg to the limit, but Serral powered up there, brought us in some new tactics that we never really see, and just monstered his way to another victory.
He's perfect, Artosis.
Is he perfect?
He's perfect. Wow. He's unstoppable. He's the greatest human. I can't believe how well he played that. Time is actually playing so well, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's playing really well.
He looks really good. He looks really scary.
Serral's strength is so ridiculous. Like, right when you think, like, well, he can't do this forever. He can't just beat everyone forever. he's putting out games like this. I'm just, well, I mean, maybe he can do this forever. Like Flash has done this forever. Maybe Serral can do this forever as well. He's just looking so unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks untouchable. Time has come in
he just looks undefeatable.
Time has come in here with 2 absolutely brilliant builds. He executed them well at the start. It didn't matter. Serral just knows this game in and out so well. Let's see if Time can turn this around. I hope he can. Otherwise, Serral's going to move on with a 3-0 victory. In the bottom right, in the red, our Chinese Terran player. He is
Newbie. Time.
in the upper left, in the blue, with a 2-0 lead from Finland. He is
Serral.
Well, guess what? It's time for some cheese and
some Ches. Oh, but guess what?
well, he is going to scout it.
Peekaboo nerd.
Yeah, I mean, it's double proxy barracks.
Man, just out of vision. He's like, oh, no, he gets a vision. He realizes he's in vision. He goes, all right, let's just go here.
There's a few different builds that this could actually end up being. The drone's coming out immediately. Let's see if they can actually prevent one of these from finishing up.
So there's a little bit of RNG involved here.
Oh, what? That was a weird pull.
Oh, my God. I think the barracks just barely finishes.
There we go. Okay. Not the end of the world because he did get one done, and he only lost one SCV. It's obviously not good for Time, but he can just go into a Reaper after that Marine.
Man. Serral is like, just everything is working.
Yeah.
This is like if in Terminator, he just killed John Connor's mom right away and the movie ended. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's no chase sequence.
No.
These are killer robots, and they went back in time.
Yeah.
And, of course, that's what would happen. Of course.
Do you think the flashbacks are going to take this one?
Yeah.
Please.
You think these humans...
And that's all we are to Serral is a bunch of flashbacks.
Yeah, you think these humans in the 90s are just going to beat the invincible robot? I don't think so.
Like, do you even have an iPhone? They're like, what?
They're like, what?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They're sitting there with the yellow pages looking up numbers. It's like, yeah, I think the Terminator's going to kill you. Okay?
How do you spell Terminator? T-E-R... No, he's
Hold
not
on, let me get a dictionary because I live in the past. Seriously.
Those fools.
Fools. Now, I don't know what exactly the plan B is going to be here from Time. I mean, I think it is safe to say that the proxy did originate from some sense of desperation, right?
Yeah.
Of like, okay, let's... Oh, my God, he got the wings in.
Of course. He's Serral. Of course he got the wings in. Gas SCV making that. Oh, man.
It was... Roach Warren. Oh, not. Psych.
Yeah, I think that's actually...
He's just keeping me on point.
No. It's a good idea. I mean, he sees exactly what's going on, right?
Yeah.
He sees, it's like, oh, 3 command center. I mean, what's one way you could throw that? A messed up all in, maybe?
Yeah, there's no need. He's just going to now realize that Terran can't come out on the map and do anything.
Mm-hmm. So from a position like this, what's the play?
From Time?
Yeah.
Tartosis. If I had that, you think if I knew that answer, would I be here casting with you? No, I'd be beating Serral. I have no idea what he's supposed to do.
That's true. That's true.
The thing is, already tempo-wise, Serral's taking the lead. The proxy rush was completely denied.
Yeah. Throwing down his Roach Warren once again now, producing queens.
And let's see what the plan is from Time. I guess it's going to just be back into kind of more textbook Terran style with pushes. You know, maybe he's going to come out with 2 medevacs later on and trying to control the creep. I just don't know big picture what exactly Time can do.
Yeah, it is just so difficult. I mean, obviously we see that it's bio. He did get very fast 3 command centers. I almost feel like you got to just do a non-stop push. But look at this, a bunch of roaches being made.
Yeah.
Looks like
Is he
Serral
actually
is
going to go for some aggression?
Yeah, for sure he is. Sitting here on 38 drones, making 11 roaches. That's what I would call aggression.
God, even gets
That's
2 kills.
either aggression or the worst, most unneeded defense ever. Ever.
He's not sure when Hellions
He
can
saw
come into the
3
game.
commands, he's
Yeah.
like, the best way to hold an SCV rush is roaches.
Those Lings, by the way, pulled the army back enough to be... Ah! Now he's going to make some Ravagers.
This is going to be rough.
He's making bunkers to be spread out so that you have to have a lot of corrosive miles to get in there. But again, even those 2 Marines that were killed off earlier, that's 2 less Marines in bunkers, boys and girls.
Uh-oh,
you want to land that?
Oh.
How about no, bro?
Not going to happen. Oh, this is looking really rough. Just bashing
my
his
God.
way in right now.
GG.
Oh, my God. And that is that. Serral 6-0 out of his group.
Yeah.
Who doubted him?
Whoa.
Well, no one.
Nobody did.
Ridiculously good play.
Dude, he is a king among men. God, Emperor, King Serral. Untouchable.
He's truly something
Now,
else.
I'll
man.
tell you what, by the way, quick footnote here. Time could absolutely still get out of this group, by the way. He looks really good.
It is
I think that
doable.
was almost the biggest takeaway here from this
Yeah.
because we knew that Serral was probably going to win, but